everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Male Perspective. I am your host, Lana Reid, and today is an extraordinary day. I get to sit down with one of the amazing men of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated. Today I have with me Brother Johnnie Geathers. He is a licensed social worker and mental health therapist, among many other things that he does for Iota as well. And I'm looking forward to spending some time with him today, learning more about him and the work that he does. But first and foremost, as I always do, sir, I take a quick moment to pause and say thank you to you for making time for me today. Time is a gift. Once we give it, we cannot get it back. So I truly appreciate you setting aside this time to talk to little old me. And with that, sir, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Now, I always open up my interviews with the D9 crew and ask, how long have you been an Iota man and where did you pledge?
So I pledged at Penn State University through the 𝗙𝗘𝗥𝗘𝗏 Alpha chapter. And currently right now I'm in Beta Omicron Omega Alumni Chapter in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But I've been in the organization 15 years. This past Friday, October 25th, made it my 15-year anniversary of being an Iota man.
Awesome. Now your chapter, Beta
Omicron Omega, which is the alumni chapter in Pittsburgh, but I pledge through 𝗙𝗘𝗏 Alpha chapter at Penn State University.
How long has the alumni chapter been around? Are you guys relatively new or old?
So the alumni chapter been around since 2009.
Okay, doing phenomenal work out there. Okay, well, let me segue real quick into your work in mental health, because I have a little bit of time today and I want to make sure I get to that because that's kind of one of my core areas here I like to address. Now, mental health in the Black community has historically had been a taboo subject, had a lot of pushback with it, especially when it comes to Black men. So that leads me to ask with curiosity, what made you say, hey, this is what I want to pursue as a profession?
Right. So it all started out during my teenage years. I was volunteering at hospitals in Philadelphia, doing different things like Ronald McDonald House and those things in that nature. And originally, I had wanted to be a pediatrician. I wanted to be in a hospital setting, work with kids and everything. But what shifted it was my siblings. I'm the oldest child of the family, and I had three younger siblings, which they're all grown now, but at the time they were little kids. And I always used to ask my mom, like, why do they do the things they do? Because I never used to do that when I was growing up and everything. So it kind of made me want to learn more about why do we do the things we do? Is it because of generational things? Is it because of genes? Is it because of the environment and things of that nature? And it segued into me talking to one of my fraternity brothers that actually got his master's in social work for Pitt. And he said, I think you should look into social work. So around my senior year at Penn State, that's when I started looking into the social work field and seeing now, okay, I can see myself doing that. And that's when I got my master's at Pitt in 2013 and ended up becoming a therapist. And I've been doing therapy for 11 years now.
Awesome. Now, as I was saying, in the Black community, there's a lot of pushback when it comes to mental health therapy, especially with your brothers. And we're gonna work on this. But you being a Black man in this field, do you feel that helps you, or it's a hindrance when you're trying to get us to get on board with this concept of seeking therapy?
I feel like it helps us because within the mental health field and also the social work field, we always see that the main dominance is the Caucasian race and everything. So when people are seeing me as a Black man doing therapy and being out in the community, educating people about mental health and stuff, that kind of gives our folks that say, hey, I should just give this a try, or even say, oh, I know about Johnnie, I know the good work that he's doing. I could go see him, or I could refer people to him and things of that nature. So being able to be a representation within the Black community to say that, okay, mental health is important for all of us. It's not a crutch to say that we're crazy. It's not a crutch to say that, oh, something's wrong with us. It's part of who we are. And normally when I do speaking engagements and things with other people, I always say that mental health is part of us. It's our way of living. If we don't take care of our mental health, then other things is going to impact us and we're going to crash and burn. So I give that more of that education to say that we have to take care of ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, all that, because everything all together runs as a system.
Yeah, awesome. And speak to that a little bit, because I think a lot of people have the perception that seeking mental health services means that you're crazy, like you said,
Right,
you're the crazy
right.
person. But mental health services can look like a myriad of things.
Yes.
So can you explain like what it could possibly look like for certain
Yeah,
individuals?
so and normally when I tell individuals, the traditional thing that individuals will go to therapy for is through is changes. So say for example, say if I'm preparing for a new job, but I don't know where to start, I could go to therapy to say I don't know the steps of how to start with transitioning into a new job. And the therapist can help guide you with giving you like coping strategies and steps to be able to get you prepared to transition into your new job. Um, Another aspect is saying that, okay, I just need an outlet, just to vent and talk. You can go to therapy, and that could be a way to open up and talk more about your emotions, your thoughts, and everything. So you won't have to keep bottling up and holding it in. Because we already know as people, whenever we hear one little thing that gets on our nerves or ticks us off, we all explode because we don't know
Mm-hmm.
how to fully express ourselves. So being able to go to therapy for that is a way of just being able to have a second ear to go through your different things that you're going through. It don't have to be automatically to say that, oh, I have to be in a deep, dire problem to be able to go to therapy. You can go to therapy for anything.
Okay, so life changes and things. So okay, it puts a whole new perspective on it, because a lot of people think that I have to figure out how to deal with this on my own. But no,
Right,
there's
right.
help out there for you.
Mhm.
There's people that can hold your
Yeah,
hand
and
through that.
another thing I want to bring up too as well with that is most of the times, especially within the Black community, as soon as you hear the word therapy, automatically you think that you're going to get a hardcore diagnosis with something. Normally, when I tell clients, I tell them that yeah, you get a diagnosis, but the diagnosis is mainly for to see what needs to be done to help you get over your diagnosis. So, like for example, the most common diagnosis that an individual could get is adjustment disorder. Adjustment disorder is a common diagnosis for individuals that are going through, like I said, different changes in life and everything, and trying to get through life. So that individual might be like, all right, your diagnosis is adjustment disorder. But I normally tell clients that your diagnosis is not a forever thing. It's based on the work that you do. So, for example, say if I have a client that's diagnosed with PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. We already know with PTSD that is a hardcore diagnosis, but within the work that's being done in therapy and also the work that the individual is doing outside of therapy, you never know. 6 months from, 6 months from now, when it's time to do like a treatment plan review or a progress review, that individual might not even have PTSD anymore because they've been doing the work. So that's why I normally tell clients that don't think that your diagnosis is a forever thing, because the more that you do work into it, you never know that that diagnosis could either change or that diagnosis could be gone, and it might be something else. That's why it's important anytime that we do treatment plan reviews, that we do reviews of different scales to see that, okay, is it really this or is it really something
Mm.
else and everything? Because life changes, we change it, like life changes, people change, and those things go hand in hand where it impacts us to really see that, okay, what is the root of it all?
Hmm.
Yeah, so normally I tell clients, like, don't think that your diagnosis is your overarching label of who you are.
Good points. Good points. So when should a person say, okay, just a hot bathtub soak and Netflix is not working. Maybe I need to go speak to somebody. What should be going on to somebody to say, hey, I need more than just, taking a minute, at
Yeah.
home.
Yeah. So what I normally will say is if you know that you need services or more support, is where you notice that like you said, you list the things that we feel like is beneficial to us. If we notice that those things are not working and we're going back to the same emotion and the same thought, that's a sign to say, okay, you need another outlet to go, take care of those things. Because the thing is, we don't want to like self-diagnose ourselves. We don't want to, get to a point to say, oh, well, I feel this way. Let me go for a walk real quick. Which, yeah, going for a walk can help you out in that moment. But then if it comes back again, you're going to keep going for a walk every time the situation happened again. You may not. You might have to see, like, okay, I might need another outlet to handle this situation and everything. So being able to pay attention to your triggers, pay attention to how often that you have these experiences and these moments, and what do you do to try to handle the situations in those moments, and then also seeing like how does it affect you across the board, because
Gotcha.
you could become drained after trying to say, oh, I tried everything, all that and above, but you didn't try the other thing, which is, seeing if you got to
Let
go
me
to
go talk to
therapy,
somebody.
seeing if you got to go to counseling, seeing if there's a way that you might have to get evaluated for something else and everything. You got to be able to look at that lens too, outside of the other things that are, accessible and available.
Yeah.
We
So
have to be
you,
able to kind of like not be afraid of, and that's another thing with therapy. Most people are afraid because they don't know what happens in a therapy session. And automatically they think that, oh, I'm gonna lay on the couch, share my problems. There's other ways of doing therapy. You could play games and do therapy while playing games. You could do role playing while doing therapy. You could do art exercises while doing therapy. There's other different forms of therapy out there that will benefit you to be able to get through the different moments of your life.
yeah, awesome. Yeah. And I think, like I said, we're carrying, a lot of us, especially in our community, we're carrying around these thoughts of what we perceive
Mhm.
therapy to be. And it's just on so many levels and so many layers. So I think once we get that education and awareness out that, we do have some options with therapy, maybe more of us will be more receptive to. And you mentioned art therapy. And I think I read that you facilitate a program side something to do with art. Did
Oh
I read that?
yeah, yeah. So with the side program, it actually starts this week, but my portion starts on November 6th, where I'm going to be doing the creative expressions group for the side program. The side program is a brand new program through Hand in Hand Counseling Services, which is the private practice that I work for. And what it is helping individuals get through trauma. It's for individuals between the ages of 21 to 65. They go through individual, they go through group therapy, and one of the group therapy that I'm going to be doing is creative expressions, where we're going to be doing different like art projects, writing, journaling, being able to listen to music and say, okay, what comes to your mind when you hear this music? Being able to create their own narrative to say that, okay, I've been through these traumatic moments and now this is how I want to move forward from this trauma, along with the other different, groups and components that will be given within the sessions. Also, outside of that, I do a teen summit group with the teenagers in the area as well. And one of the components within the teen summit is expressive arts. So we kind of get into them expressing their creativity as a way to just open up and, release what's on their mind or release what's in their hearts.
Okay, impacting the young people. Okay. Well, I wouldn't expect anything less from a D9 brother. Y'all are heavy on the mentorship for the young people. Now, I also saw, along with your fellow Iota brother, that you are doing something like a leadership academy or something like that. Did I read that correctly?
Oh yeah, so I helped with the Jaquan Lavender Foundation. I met Jaquan Lavender in 2022. He lives in Steubenville, Ohio, and he actually created this Prudent Man Leadership Academy through the foundation. And this is mainly to help our young men get through, giving them basic tools and skills to be able to become a prudent man, which is a prudent man stands for being able to, know how to navigate through the different environments and learn that you are worth something. You are more than just a teen that plays video games and stuff like that. You know how to carry yourself. You know how to dress well. You know how to speak properly. You know how to navigate yourself through different challenges and everything. For me, within the Prudent Man Leadership Academy, what I normally do is I'll talk about the mental health aspect, and we provide different exercises for them to just be able to give them another lens of how to work through themselves and everything.
Mhm.
So within those particular sections of what I do, it actually correlates to what Jaquan is actually doing through his curriculum.
Okay. Awesome. Well, let me pry a little bit. Let me be a little nosy, okay? Let me play auntie real quick.
Okay, okay.
You're doing a lot. You got a lot of stuff going on. How do you mentally stay well?
For me, I'll say this. I'll be honest, in the beginning, it was hard because I was so used to being a yes man and everything. But after going through my own health challenges and everything and getting over those health challenges, I learned that I had to practice boundaries across the board within the fraternity, within friends, within work. I had to practice boundaries and be able to say, okay, it's okay to say no. It's okay that I can't take on everything, and I pick and choose what I feel like I want to do and everything. So being able to do that. But when I have downtime, I talk to my friends. I talk to, some of my close fraternity brothers, hang out and stuff. And then also do other things like, watch TV, exercise, treat myself to something nice to eat, things like that. Just to be able to say, all right, I deserve this. I
There
need
you
this
go.
and everything. Like I said, recently I just turned 15 years in the fraternity, and today is actually my last day of my little 4-day vacation weekend and everything. So, I'm just been enjoying family, enjoying friends and such. Um, went out of town, went to Philadelphia to see everybody and just enjoy that moment, not even thinking about work or nothing and stuff. And even when clients are calling me or texting me about things, I'm like, no, I'm not answering. Y'all could wait until Tuesday.
There you
Do
go.
it. So yeah, just be able to have that space to do that.
Set them boundaries, set them boundaries. And speaking to your brothers, Iota Phi Theta, share why you think it's important for men, especially Black men, to have a supportive group of men around them as they walk through this thing we call life.
Yeah.
What's the value to that?
I think the value of it all, when it comes to the brotherhood aspect, is realizing that we need each other. And I'll give a strong example of this because I have a person that he's we're not blood related and he's not in a Greek organization, but me and him connected personally. And with our connection, we look at each other as big brother and little brother. He was with me recently over the weekend while I was home and stuff. So he spent time with me and everything, and we just enjoyed each other's company. And it kind of goes to show that we need each other in that aspect. And with that individual that I was connected, that I'm talking about, he actually was there for me when I was going through the grieving process of my father passing away last year. I met him at an event that I was speaking at 3 weeks after I buried my dad. So talking to him, connected with him, getting to know him a little bit more, and then us hanging out more, we was able to build that relationship where we know that we can reach out to each other every day, visit each other as much as we can, and such, and say that we love each other. Like, and I always say, like, I love you, little bro. I thank you for being in my life. He said the same thing here, and same thing as well. I have another person as well that he's actually my fraternity brother. I actually brought him in. He came in through the University of Pittsburgh this past March. I connected with him March of last year. And me and him just started talking and connecting and building that friendship and that brotherhood aspect. But the thing that stuck out to me the most was when my dad passed, he checked on me every day, called on me and asked me if I was okay. And I said, this is my little brother because
There
he
you
was
go.
checking on me and everything. And from there, we've been close ever since. I actually was just talking to him before we even got on. We talk almost every day too. And we do like different activities outside of fraternity, like go bowling, those different things.
There you go.
We enjoy each other's company. And that's what it means when it comes to like having that brotherhood. It don't have to be that, oh, you have to wear the letters to show brotherhood. You can show brotherhood anywhere, any way, at any time, based on that connection that you build with that individual. And I always say to them each time, I appreciate both of them dearly because they did in my life at a time where I was still getting over losing my dad. And I know last year's been a year, this year's August made it a year and everything. And with me like thinking about different moments when I hang out with them and that aspect of loss, which I even learned it myself. I say, no, it's not y'all, because I know we talk every day and all that, but I think it's the significant tie that I'm still grieving my dad. And I was right, because I reached out to my old therapist and say, is this because of me still feeling the loss of my dad? And she was like, yep, you on it. And even I talked to my mom about it, and she said, yeah, it's because you're still having ties to you still get over your dad, losing your dad. Because I wasn't expecting for my father's passed away last year, and everything. So try to get through that moment and also be able to know that I'm human as well. Because every time you see somebody as, oh, you're a mental health therapist, you are a social worker, you might have your stuff all the way together. No, I'm human, just like y'all.
We all need somebody to talk to.
I got feelings. I've been to therapy before for my own stuff. I'm just like y'all. It's just
I have bad days too, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just that I'm just in that space of doing the work that I love to do, but also I'm right with y'all too.
And I know when I need to go and talk to somebody, and I'm gonna step my butt over there real quick,
right? Yeah.
Before this all implodes. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, your mom is because the generations of Black folks, are different about feelings about mental health. Is mom open to your career and everything now?
Mom is open to my career. Yes, she is. She's always proud of what I'm doing, and everything. She has always been like my number one supporter when it comes to things like this. So yeah. And even my dad, even with my dad before he passed, and I always had to correct him. He used to be like, my son's a doctor. I was like, I'm not a doctor. I'm a
leave dad alone. You're a doctor. You're a doctor.
But my dad, and I said, if you want to call me doctor, you can say doctor of the mind or something like that. But my dad always been the person that will brag about every little thing that I do. And that just goes to show that he was proud. He's always proud of me. And I know in heaven, he's looking down on me and he probably bragging right now about me doing like different things.
Jesus, you see my boy over there? You see my boy?
Right. That's my son. That's my son doing that and everything. But I know ever since he passed, different opportunities have been coming my way. I thank God and I thank my dad, because them two come together, working out some magic. And I'm like, what y'all got cooking up for me? I'm very appreciative. And with my dad's passing, it made me realize that you got to appreciate everything that comes into your life. You got to appreciate the people that's in your life. You got to appreciate just being here, because tomorrow's not promised. Like I said before, I wasn't expecting my dad to be gone last year, and witnessing him passing on the way that I witnessed him passing. I wasn't expecting that. So I'll just tell for everybody that's listening and watching, just appreciate the things that you go through, appreciate you as an individual, and just live your life to the fullest.
That's right. And I think I'm thankful that you do have the background to have the tools in your toolbox to help you with his transition and the healing process, and I'm pretty sure it's ongoing, and it'll be but you have the tools to get through that, and the brotherhood to get through that. I mean, that helps as well. I have two more questions, I believe. Yeah. Unless my mind thinks of something else. But I want to ask, I see that if people can't get into a therapist's office, they can connect with you on YouTube. You have something?
Yes, yep, I do. So I have a YouTube channel called JG Mental Health Fridays. I actually launched that in 2020 during the height of the pandemic. Because during that time, before I was working in the private practice, I was working at a nonprofit organization with kids in the school setting. And when the pandemic had everybody shut down, I was put on, what is it called? Not leave, but it was more
furlough.
Yeah, furlough. Yeah, I was put on furlough. And at the time when I was on furlough, I was like, I still want to help people. And then I had a light bulb in my head to say, okay, just start making videos. So what I did was I started making videos on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn first and everything. And then people start watching it, and people start giving me different topics that we wanted me to talk about. And for every video, I'll talk about topics, share like my own personal experience if I can relate to it, and provide coping skills that people could use and practice on their own. And then my mom was like, "Oh, you should make a YouTube channel." I was like, "I don't know,
Go,
mom."
mom.
I was like, "I don't know." But then 2021 on my birthday, I actually created the channel. And so anytime that I upload a video on YouTube, I upload snippets on Facebook, Instagram, and other different platforms. And I'm saying that, oh, if you want to watch the full thing, go to my YouTube channel to check out the full thing and everything. But I've been doing it for now 4 years now, and I love, the videos. I love making videos and sharing about different things and things that we all go through, and being that way of saying that if an individual is not able to go to therapy and such, that they can watch my video and apply some of these tools and strategies to their lives.
Okay. So we'll be getting a book soon, right? Right? I mean, okay, I'm talking to dad up there. Like, you get dad, what we got to do? Like, so,
Maybe you never know. You never know.
Okay. Okay. Well, my last question before I ask you my random question.
Okay.
I was reading your bio, and it seems like, and you've talked about this, the majority of your life, you've really been a servant. You've been active in the community. You've been volunteering. And there's a lot of people that take the stance, ain't my problem, ain't my issue, when they see things going on and they don't get involved. What would you stress about the importance of rolling up your sleeves and being active in the community and taking a stance to make a change in your community?
Yeah, I'll say with taking a stance and being involved in the community, it's more so as a way of giving back. It's more so of an outlet for sure as well. Because whenever you're going through something personally, and you can relate to somebody that's going through the same thing, it's easier to be able to help that individual out or help that community out because you've been through it, and such. Um, so like for me, for example, within the fraternity, we do, Ronald McDonald House. We always go to the Ronald McDonald House, serve the families and everything, or even do game nights and stuff with them. And the reason being because I can relate to that. When I was 12 years old, I had to be in the hospital for a month and a half because of me having my appendix removed. My appendix had ruptured. And luckily my mom took me to the hospital, and they said I had to have an emergency surgery and stuff, because if she didn't took me to the hospital that next day, I would have been gone because of the bacteria and the rupture and everything like that. So having to be in the hospital for almost a month and a half while missing school and stuff like that, I can relate because of those individuals at the Ronald McDonald House having to stay, kids had to stay there for a while and everything to go through treatments and things like that. And what a way to give back to them, to show them that there's people out there that support you, care for you, love for you, and everything and such. When it comes to street cleanups, we adopted a street in Pittsburgh where we clean up 4 times a year, and that's just a way of giving back to that neighborhood, to say that we are in this neighborhood all the time. Why not clean it up?
Awesome.
And stuff. So it always, for individuals that want to get involved in like community service or even acts of volunteering, think about an experience that you went through that you could feel like, okay, I could actually impact somebody because I went through this before.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Very true. Well, let me ask you my random question.
All right.
And then I'm going to ask you to tell us how we connect with you and the Iotas in Pittsburgh. Let's see what we got here. If you had to give up your phone for a week, which app would you miss the most?
Ooh, if I was to give up my phone for a week,
Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn.
I feel like, all right, the app that I would probably miss the most, I feel like YouTube would be the one I would miss the most. And the reason being, one, even though I make my videos on there, but outside of that, I more so be watching YouTube videos than usual because I keep myself up to date on like different things. And also if it's like entertainment stuff and gossip stuff, I'll watch somebody do a review on a show, a movie, or just random, celebrity topics and everything like that. I get into those things
Okay.
and watch it and stuff. So if I'm not able to look at YouTube for a week, yeah, that could be
That could be
like
a
a
problem.
problem because it keeps me going and everything,
Yeah.
and it's more of like a way to look into the view of other people to say, oh, I actually was thinking about this the other day and all
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and there's a lot of learning tools in there. I go to a
Mhm.
lot of how to do this.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
I changed the flapper on the toilet the other day.
Yes.
I look
Yeah,
at
you could
how.
go on YouTube to look up something. Yeah, yes.
Awesome. So, how do we connect with you in Pittsburgh, and how do we connect with the IOTAs in Pittsburgh?
All right, so for everyone that want to connect with me personally, you can reach out to me on Facebook, Johnnie Johnnie Geathers, on Instagram, JG the Mastermind, on LinkedIn, Johnnie Geathers, MSW, LSW. On YouTube, you can just type in my name, Johnnie Geathers, and my profile will pop up with all my JG Mental Health Friday videos and everything. To reach out to the Iotas in Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Iotas, you can go on Facebook and type in Beta Omicron Omega Alumni Chapter, and that will pop up. And then also on Instagram, Pittsburgh Iotas.
Awesome. And we'll circle back in about a year and there'll be a book. We'll do that.
Maybe, I don't know. The crazy thing is, while I was recovering when I was getting through my health scare and recovering in that time, I was writing things down to be able to prepare to come up with a book. But my mom has said one thing that ticked my nerves, and I lost it. I lost it, and I said, you know what? Forget it. But then I was like, with me doing these videos and stuff, never know. Those videos can turn into a book based on what I talk about. We'll never know. Would never know. But I have wrote articles for Healthful Living magazine. I'm actually in the process about writing my 6th article that will be coming out next year for that. So if people want to read more of things, they could check out Healthful Living magazine, the different articles I wrote for them.
Okay, and that's based on mental health and all of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Internet Auntie will keep her eye open. We got a book coming already, dear. Well, I truly appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you're doing. I appreciate the impact that you're having in your community and beyond. Just keep on doing what you're doing. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are patting you on your back and giving you your kudos, but just accept mine as well. And just continue being awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That is all for this week's episode of The Male Perspective. I'm your host, Lana Reid, and I will see everybody next time. Oh.